Today I'm at UCLA to ask students about blackface and this new phenomenon of woman face. Why is it socially acceptable to be transgender, but not transracial? Let's go find out.
Yeah, and that's what we're doing today. Let's dive in.
Pictures of prominent figures rocking blackface and get your reaction to it. Is that all right?
Very interesting. I did not. Okay.
This is Rachel Dolezal, who was a president of a chapter of NAACP, who identified as transracial. She said that she was born in the wrong body and that she identified as black. I
have a question for Rachel Dolezal and anybody else who wants to do this. What if you were born, say, in the year 1000 in Norway? You wouldn't even know, right? Another race to you is a person from across the water, or a person from that across the mountains, or across the river, or a person who has different color hair. That's it. Rachel Dolezal was called out years ago, and it's like, yeah, you're just silly. But let's get back at it.
Ted Danson at the Friars Club roast in New York City. This is Sarah Silverman in blackface on her TV show.
All right, so I blurred those out because, yeah, I don't think I can show them on YouTube. I'm sure you could Google images and find them and look at them all day long. They were not flattering for either actor or actress. But, yeah, they're out there, I'm sure.
Think of when you see these images.
It's not good. It's really bad.
Do you think people can identify as a certain race?
No, I do not believe you can identify as a certain race.
So do you think identifying as a different race is offensive?
This is a very good question. I think, I don't know.
But we all know that you can race swap in popular stories. That's okay, unless you're race swapping from any other race to white. That's highly, highly, highly immoral. My students will explain to you. It completely changes the character. But if you do it the other way, though, it doesn't change the character at all.
Become something that is recognized off of skin color. If you weren't that skin color your whole
Right,
life.
because it's biological. Mm-hmm. Do you think that people who claim transracial are making a mockery of real black people?
Yes.
I wonder what she would say if there was a black person claiming to be transracial as a white person, or any other race. Would that be a mockery?
Now we're going to talk about woman face. Have you guys heard the term woman face?
No.
Have you heard this term? So this is men who identify as women, and then they benefit socially and financially from many cases. Do you guys know Dylan Mulvaney?
No.
So he transitioned, and after he transitioned to a woman, he has millions of dollars in brand deals. You have Leah Thomas, who has William.
Don't forget that Dylan Mulvaney also destroyed Bud Light in the process.
Brand deals. You have Leah Thomas, who has William Thomas, ranked very low on the swimmer scoreboards. After transitioning, was #1 in the country.
Yeah, number one in the country, swimmer. #1 in the country. And you notice that Leah Thomas doesn't really look any different from William. You grew his hair out. Really believe that you're opposite gender. What a weird coincidence that you decided to be the opposite gender and you ranked #1 in swimming.
In the country.
It's bullshit to me that you reap benefits for something you're not.
I think that is a completely different story. Being transgender is something where you can genuinely be born with different biological features or whatever, and that doesn't contribute to gender or societal norms at all. I think those are two completely different things.
Can you prove that you are born with these different biological things that allow you to be transgender? Now, she might be thinking, oh, there's intersex people. But intersex people almost always, as far as I know, almost always, if not always, show at least a proclivity for one gender over the other.
Is woman face offensive?
I don't think that's woman face. I think those are people who were born in the wrong body.
Can you please explain to me how you're born in the wrong body? By what mechanism does that happen? I'm just curious. I honestly don't know. Does somebody out there know? Can somebody out there tell me?
Themselves.
So if you can identify with a different gender, why can't you identify with a different race?
The biological side of it, because race has no biological connections whatsoever. It's purely based off of physical appearances.
I just asked you if it was biological. You said yes.
Is recognized off of skin color. If you weren't that skin color your whole life.
Right, because it's biological.
Or I mean, sex has biological backings, but gender is not. Gender is a spectrum.
Why is it so?
Stop changing language to suit your needs. You can make any word mean anything, and then you're right. This is so ridiculous the way they do this.
Why is it socially acceptable to be transgender, but it's not socially acceptable to be transracial?
I think that's they're very different things. I think that I don't know how to phrase this in a way, but that I would say like is
Well, I can tell you why, probably. At least one reason. Because we've been living with people who have different sexual orientations and think that they're transgender for thousands of years now. We haven't been living with people who think that they're the wrong race for very long, if at all.
I wouldn't say I'm educated enough to have the proper definition of like separating the two.
But what about like how Rachel Dolezal, she said that she was born in the wrong body, that she really is black. Why is that any different than being born in the wrong body and being a woman or a man?
I don't know how to explain it, but I know that it is.
I feel like people.
No words. Words cannot describe. But she knows it's right. She feels it. See, it's a feeling. It's this way with all of these things that people feel. That don't base your opinions on your feelings.
It is.
I feel like people, they have the freedom to do what they want.
Is that an endorsement of transracialism?
He kind of got you, didn't he? He kind of totally got you there.
Do you see the hypocrisy here?
I do see the hypocrisy, but I don't think the hypocrisy is like, I'm not trying, how do I phrase this?
Maybe it's like, if I want to be a dragon, I can just be a dragon or something.
Yeah, it's utterly meaningless. Dragons don't real, okay? Elves and fairies, pixies, sprites, those things don't real. You can't just be a thing. So it comes down to being totally meaningless. You're a child playing a game. Remember when you were a kid and you used to play different things? I was always an elf. I want to be an elf. Yeah, okay. So this is why role-playing games are popular, because people get to pretend to be somebody in a situation they're not.
It's socially acceptable for people to identify as a different gender, but it's not socially acceptable for people to identify as a different race.
Well, I don't know. That's a great question.
Okay, let me explain the answer to you again. This is a different answer, by the way, if you heard the first one. We've always separated ourselves by race. Human beings always like pointed at the other and said, that's the other, we don't like them, whatever reason. It's really obvious to look at somebody who has skin like the man doing the interview and somebody who has skin like one of the ladies that he was, the two black ladies. Say those people are different somehow. They're really obviously different. So we've been separating these things out for a long time. Now you might be saying, well, we've separated out men and women, and there are even African tribes that separate out men from women. And they live basically separate lives, it's my understanding, and they come together only for, certain, they're not together all the time. The men have a village, the women have a village, it's the same village, but they have different sections where they're allowed to go and stuff. But the thing is men and women always have also come together. We've had to. There's 8 billion of us on the planet now. Men and women have been getting together a lot, right?
A lot of people on this campus today say the black face is wrong, but the woman face is totally acceptable. Why is there a double standard for race and gender?
That I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either. Well, you guys, that is a wrap here at UCLA. Definitely an interesting.
Now at the end here he has a thing where he talks to a carrot. Let's take a look at that.
Can people identify with a different gender?
Can they identify as one?
Yeah.
Sure, they can identify as whatever they want.
They can identify as a carrot or a different gender or a different race.
We're a lizard.
Love it. So
Yeah.
can I be a black broccoli?
Sure.
Black broccoli and
Black
orange
broccoli
carrot.
and carrot. Woohoo!
Hey guys.
There you go. Black broccoli and orange carrot. Yeah, this whole thing it's just silliness. I gave you a couple of reasons as to why I think that one is acceptable and the other one is not. That's just me thinking on it. Maybe you are an expert and know more, and you can go down in the comments and tell me how I'm wrong. Please do. And if you watched this far, again, thank you very much. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure that you're still subscribed. You can find me over on Rumble and on Twitter. Now, here is a puppy that's only a few weeks old, but he's already figured out how to mimic his master, and it's adorable.